Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Please hit the like button on your screen. Please subscribe to the channel. We're going to have daily motivation here each and every day, 7 days a week, and hit the bell of notification on your machine so you know when we get here. You know, so often we say, I want something to change in my life. I want to be able to make something happen. And really, isn't that interesting that we have to make it happen? And I lived the last 15 months of my life, well, 17, 18 now, having to make it happen. But let's back up just a little bit. I was born to abusive parents in an environment that was less than conducive to growth, born and told that I would not survive. From the standpoint of a brain injury at birth, and sent home with parents that didn't want to be parents. The first young person integrated into mainstream education in my town and city. And I have had to fight my entire life. I share that with you to start this because I've spent my entire life living the make it happen mentality. Now, how do you do that? You look for opportunities and you take them as far as they will take you, and then you jump on another, kind of like a shooting star or a comet. You don't go, what if something goes wrong? You figure it out when it does, because sooner or later it will. But just because something goes wrong doesn't mean you are wrong to pursue your dreams. Just because something doesn't go according to plan doesn't mean you failed, or there's something broken about you. Instead, it just means you weren't in perfect alignment with the progress you wanted quite yet. You know, my entire life, I was told all the things I would never do. I'd never learn to read because my vision was too bad. I would never learn to drive, which they were right about, because my vision was too bad. I would never hold a job, wrong. I would never have a partner, wrong. I would never make a difference, wrong. But what happened in me and what happens in leaders who need to make things happen is really simple. They determine that their determination and desire for a compelling destiny is greater than their challenges. And you can do that too. Right now, we all have challenges. Look, the global economy could collapse tomorrow. We don't know what the politicians have in mind for that. We don't know what challenges are ahead as far as getting jobs. We don't know what challenges are ahead in terms of keeping our relationships and families afloat. We don't know anything, but we know we have the ability to respond. What is responsibility? Think about that. Break it down. Responsibility. We have the ability to respond to our circumstance. And when we respond in accordance with progress, we can make change happen. Now, yeah, there's a little luck. Some would even say there's a little divine intervention. Others would say there's a science to it all. But how you make it happen doesn't matter. You make it happen. So funny, I remember an occasion back when I was doing broadcasting for professional wrestling. By the way, if you're a wrestling fan and or you know one, please have them join my other channel, which is much different from this one. Pro Wrestling Logic here on YouTube, and we do some really cool things over there if you're interested. If you're not, that's cool too. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. But anyway, I remember having a microphone put in my hand at 15 years old and being told that the person who was supposed to do the play-by-play wasn't going to appear. He was stuck on the interstate. And my boss at the time, who was a very intimidating guy, looks at me and says, "Hey, kid, remember you said you wanted to try out?" "Yes, sir." "You're on in 15 minutes. Make it happen." Oh, wow. No pressure. Good for you, kid. You opened your mouth. You inserted both your feet in so deep you can swallow your own knees. But you know what? I went out there. And he said, "Oh, by the way, you're working with me." Again, no pressure. My first time in front of a live microphone, sitting next to a guy that I was scared the heck out of, right? But a weird thing began to happen. When I got into the flow, when I picked up that microphone and I called what I saw, I forgot where I was and just focused on what was in front of me. I didn't care that there were 8 people in the crowd and we had paid several $1,000s to be there. I didn't care that this was going across 3 states on local interconnect television. Kids, if you don't know what the interconnect is or public access TV, ask your parents. I didn't care that everyone was going to laugh at me because I would trip over my own words from time to time. All I cared about was making progress and making a difference. I get to the end of the day and I'm proud of myself. I say, how was I? My boss looks at me and says, hey, kid, you're pretty good for being horrible. Huh? Talk about a mixed message. You're pretty good for being horrible. Ouch. For the next several years, many actually, I endeavored through what then is known as CTown Circuits, people who couldn't make it at a higher level but wanted to believe they could, wanted to chase their dream, and so there were people that would put up money for them to be able to do that. It wasn't until 2007 that I met up with a mentor of mine who the first time he met me, he said something real simple. He said, you haven't had formal training, have you? I said, no, sir. He said, it shows. And man, I wanted to be about 2 feet tall. And I remember the night he came up to do a seminar with us, and he said he was going to sit in for part of the live event with me and help me with play-by-play, but there's no way he was going to do it until it cooled off a little bit. And unfortunately, as it was cooling off, he actually spilled some of his protein in my general direction. Now, I wanted to go off. I wanted to get angry. And instead, my boss looks at me and says, he's going to be joining you for Masterson tonight. All I could think was make it happen. There are battles in your life where you need to step up and make it happen. There are battles in your life where you may fall short, but the college try that you give something on the way out the door, even if it means you're passing away, is something that leaves a legacy for the future. You see, everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be wealthy. Everybody wants to be known. Everyone wants to be a social media influencer. What the heck is that? They tell people what buttons to click? Anyway, everybody wants to be something special, but no one wants to take the risk to invest in people long enough to know whether they're capable of being what I need or not. And for the record, if you're in a relationship and you're rushing yourself either to get something done for your partner or because you have no clue what you're doing and you're in over your head, which is perfectly fine too. I couldn't fix a car if my life depended on it. It's not my wheelhouse, not my monkey. But regardless, there are extra bowls of oatmeal in the house. But surplus is always good because surplus reminds us of the fragility and fragile nature with which we have to approach most of the world. That is, to say to most people, find a way, get it done, they freeze. But you have to understand, since the 1950s, when the Third Reich marched out of Judea and moved much of their operation to, Patreon or other paid services, and good for them if they're getting the money that they believe they're worth. I'm working on that this year. I'm also working on getting back into broadcasting, so if you wouldn't mind having somebody do some work remotely, I'm more than happy to do it if I can work out how to get there and how to get you a product that you're going to be proud of. That's my job. And I think that's the thing. We all have to have products or services or people that we're proud of that keep us going, and when we ostracize the rest of the world because of trauma like we've suffered, it's very easy to wear the same clothes for 7 days and go, oh crap, I think senior day taught me in this thing. And now that I'm somewhere where they can't see me or whatever, no pun intended, they're coming out of the woodwork. It's always the way it happens, isn't it? In the middle ground, especially if you are in the middle of your family, isn't exactly a middle ground that's going to sit and listen to much. But there's still progress. There's still 89% delay. And there are limits as far as what one can sell when you're just getting started. There's a bunch of things we can go over, but suffice to say, using the example of the spa, I'm waiting to see what she says. And she may say, no, we have to protect our fellow human beings. And then again, she may say, no, why don't we do this? I need the cash, you need the service, yada, yada, whatever. And it's mutually beneficial. At the end of the day, the truth of the matter is you have to find something you believe in to give your daughter or son an opportunity to regain their balance, thereby nullifying any of the damage done by that individual to begin with. And it doesn't matter now, does it really? I mean, if you give it 5 minutes, maybe 10, you'll see the entire light open up. You'll see a completely new desire by the universities. Universities and larger buildings will be the first ones to let people like an MLW, a Major League Wrestling T-shirt. And ultimately, when we saw that, it became clear to me that they held the belt in place. But that's okay. You see, Darby Allin gets it. People that have been through things get it. They don't remain focused on the negativity. Much to the contrary, they will give them thumbs up all day long as they believe the seek for attention is nothing more than the desire, I have this person. Feel free to call me whenever you like. I remind you, this has been Scott Golden with Golden Opportunities Coaching. Keep your feet on the ground and your mind in the moment. Take care.